Hey everybody, welcome to Moondog's TMI Live. Too much information with your host, Moondog. That's me. And today we're going to be talking about the videos that I posted this week on Moondog 2A, Moondog Reviews, and Moondog Go, my three YouTube channels, as well as I'm also on Rumble and X and just about every other platform out there that is worth watching. So before we get started, though, I just want to plug our sponsor for today, and that is Aura. And Aura is a cybersecurity company that I use, and they offer a whole suite of services to help protect you when you're online. Things like a virtual private network, a VPN, to protect you if you are using public Wi-Fi somewhere by masking your identity as you're logging in, and also allowing you to log in from making it appear like you're logging in from any number of countries. So if you are blocked out of certain content because of where you're geolocated, well, you can say that you're in Peru or logging in from Japan or somewhere, so you can get at some content that you couldn't get in your sort of home locale. But more importantly, it does protect you. It does encrypt your access to the public Wi-Fi, so people can't sniff information as you're using Wi-Fi. So it's really good. But of course, that's not the only thing they have. They offer a wealth of other services, including fraud alerts, identity theft insurance. In fact, when you have an account through Aura, they automatically give you $1 million in identity theft insurance. So that's great. This is as a plus. And they also offer spam blockers. And here's a big one that I really love is they get you off of data broker lists. And those are lists of these companies. There's like hundreds of them out there on the web that buy and sell our private information to each other, to online marketeers, political organizations, just about anybody, anywhere that you have public information. Let's say if you're, logging, if you have an account through your state or local government, or if you've ever read through all of the fine print and when you log into and make an account somewhere, well, unless you read through the fine print and opted out of just about everything else, those companies can sell your information to other partners or share your information with other partners, and they in turn, well, what ends up happening is that they will sell your email information, your email address, and sometimes other information like your phone number, your cell phone number, your physical address, mailing address, and all this information gets bought and sold in trade legally online. I know it's kind of crazy, but you can get yourself off of these lists by, well, one way is you can individually go to each of these 100 different companies out there and make an account. I know it's this whole laborious process to get yourself off of these lists, or you can use a data broker removal service like Aura. Aura gives you data broker removal service as part of your monthly account, your subscription with them, and they will automatically go and formally request to have your information removed. I got myself removed off of over 30 data brokers. So yeah, they're great. And here's the thing: if you use my link, that's right up there on screen, and I'll also share you can find a link on my show notes on my website at moondogindustries.com. But if you use my link out there, that is aura.com/moondog, you get 14 days free. You can try them out for 14 days. We're absolutely free. And if you do try them out, the show gets a little bit of a commission. So it's a win-win. So I definitely think you should try out that data broker removal service. That alone is worth the fee. But of course, the fee in this case is free. So try them out. Okay, so thank you, Aura. And we have a contest every episode, and we started doing this little quiz to take part in this contest. What I want you to do is type in the chat right now hashtag the name of this brand. You're seeing the image of the logo of this brand on the screen right now. So if you know what this brand is, put hashtag name of the brand and use a capital letter since it is a proper name, and you'll be automatically entered into the contest drawing later today, and you'll be getting a Palmetto State Armory sticker, which I just realized I did not grab, but hopefully I can grab a sample of that from the prize that I'm going to be showing you. Well, later on in the episode, we have I'll be telling you about this prize. It is a bag of SHOT Show swag that I'm giving away, but I will also be giving away a Palmetto State Armory special edition sticker. Well, I'll pull that up in a bit, but I'll be pulling 3 different winners from the side chat over there. So just put in hashtag name of this brand, and you'll be entered to win. And you just have to be present in the chat to win at the end of the episode. All right, so let's get on to our new videos this week, and there's a bunch of them because I went to SHOT Show. What is it? It's almost been 2 weeks now since I went, and if you hear a little bit of a raspiness in my voice, it's because I caught the SHOT Show flu or the bug, whatever that people tend to get. And to be perfectly honest, I managed to miss it the last 3 SHOT Shows. So this is the first one that actually caught some bug on the flight back. Actually, caught it from my wife, who caught it on the flight back, and so I'm still sounding a little bit hoarse. And no, hillbilly. That is not what you need to type in. Hashtag name of the brand. You actually have to type in the actual name. So anyway, starting with our videos that I posted this last week, I posted a booth visit, and I showed the new Jackal 2.0. This is a prototype of the updated version of the Jackal. And interestingly enough, the folks over at Palmetto State Armory said that they will be producing the 2.0 and the original 1.0 Jackal. And the difference being that the Jackal 2.0 has a non-mil spec lower that it is mated to. And presumably this makes it more reliable, I would assume. But of course, they wouldn't necessarily answer that question. They would say that, the original one was perfectly reliable. And I can't really tell you whether or not it was unreliable or not, because I've never shot one in other than at range day. So I don't have any personal experience beyond doing the test shooting. But, I think all of you have probably seen some drama online about the Jackal. I believe I forget if it was Focus Trip or somebody else posted a negative review of the Jackal, and it just brought up a lot of YouTube drama about this particular rifle. I think it looks great. It is essentially Palmetto State Armory's version of the Bushmaster, or the Magpul Masada, whatever iteration of version of that type of rifle that you want to call it. But I always liked the look of the Magpul Masada, and I always wish that they would have moved forward with creating it. And anyway, but the closest you can get, you can get the Bushmaster version of it, I believe. And it's a little convoluted, but Palmetto State Armory also makes the Jackal. And I'll show you the video short from this booth visit, but you can always watch the full episode, or at least the full regular long form of this video, if you go to Moondog 2A. So here's the short.
Jackal 2 is going to be the next iteration of the Jackal. So a couple things to keep in mind on the Jackal 2.0. First of all, this project is about a year out, so keep that in mind. So the Jackal 2.0 doesn't work on a mil-spec lower. So it's got its own proprietary lower, and you can see these really nice lines in the back, so it's not going to be mil-spec compatible. So that's one of the things.
There you go.
That's why we're keeping the standard Jackal, because it is mil-spec compatible. We lightened the front end a little bit. We kept that 8-position gas block that everybody loves. Kept that monolithic top rail that everybody loves. We moved the charging handle back a little bit and added a folding charging handle to this guy.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then you can see we changed the ejection a little bit, and then changed the lower to where you'd have an ambi bolt catch, and you get your standard Stenag mag compatibility. You also get AR trigger compatibility, pistol grip, and safety compatibility. And then with the 2.0, we'll be releasing our brand new Jackal stock that's going to be completely made by us.
So there you go. That's it's a nice looking rifle, and I would like to get my hands on one, because I do like the general look of that particular rifle. So I also posted in the same week another booth, actually the same booth visit but different part. I saw that PSA is making a clone, or at least a version of the original Barrett 50 BMG rifle. They're calling theirs the Saber Lancet, and here's the video short of that particular rifle.
This bad boy.
Yeah, so over here we have our Saber Lancet. This is our semi-auto 50 BMG. So this guy is a short stroke gun, compatible with Barrett magazines. You get a 1 in 14 thread pitch, which is pretty standard for 50 BMG.
Actually, I think he meant
we'll probably ship it with the
twist,
AAC Cyclops muzzle brake.
Thread pitch, but
and again, this is a semi-auto BMG. Top rail is going to be 30 MOA from the factory, so perfect for shooting longer range.
Now this is a crazy drum mag.
Yeah, so that's from our friends over at Bostech. When we found out we were going to be teasing this guy at the show, we had to reach out to them, and they were kind enough to loan us a magazine for the show. But isn't that thing awesome? It's a 20-round 50 BMG drum.
Yes, all right.
So yeah, that was an interesting looking drum mag. Certainly, I wouldn't want to be taking that drum mag out to a sandy environment necessarily, based on how skeletonized it is. And I don't know if that was the reason why, but when I first posted this video, it actually got rejected by YouTube the first time out as being non-ad friendly, and they have a whole laundry list of things that they consider non-ad friendly. And one of the things in bullet points is a large capacity magazine. And yes, that is a large magazine, but it is not technically a large capacity magazine. It only holds 20 rounds. But anyway, so it's just another example of, I believe, of YouTube's reviewers, human reviewers, not really knowing the subject matter well enough to be making these decisions, yet they still make decisions. Anyway, I'll stop my bitching and moaning about the ad-friendly reviews. Also, I posted up a booth visit with Discovery Optics, and I also got to meet Gun-Toting Minnesotan while I was out there. He was at the booth, actually. He was contracted by I believe by Discovery. I'll reach out to Gun-Toting Minnesota and find out that whole what that whole thing is. And a lot of brands will hire YouTube celebs to be basically their spokesperson, or in this case maybe booth babe, but spokesperson while they're there, especially brands that don't necessarily have a great public speaker to talk about their brands. And often is the case. Those on, being able to talk extemporaneously about your product for 5 hours a day for 5 days a week is not a skill that a lot of people have. So it is a good idea to actually get somebody who can talk well about your product. And Gun-Toting Minnesota did in this case talk about the EDPRS. Now it's the 5-25, which I've reviewed before last year, but this is the new version of that, which is kind of funny. I have to get a straight answer, but they've updated the 5-25 Gen 2. So would it be a 2.1? Instead of just a regular 2. There are two key differences that I saw. It has a different top on the elevation. It has a different design of the top. Instead of the silver top, it has a black top. And the design of it is the same design of that toolless, or really it still requires a tool. It still requires a coin to unscrew, but now they have that same turret for the windage as well as the elevation, whereas in the previous Gen 2 you had to use hex screws to take off the top of your windage. So let me share that video short.
So there's an update to a beloved scope. The 525 has sold really, really well for Discovery for a lot of reasons. If you've never seen this before, it's a 34 millimeter tube. There's about 36 mils of internal elevation. It's now offered in MOA, which is really impressive. They've broken into the MOA market, so that's cool. You're gonna notice on top, it actually has a toolless design. This is really neat.
That's
Huge
what I was
fan.
talking about.
So just with your fingers, you can loosen it up and change your zero, reset your zero. Those of us, like, I love to shoot with cans, and sometimes I actually need to make a quick adjustment on the fly. It's also on the windage as well. You'll notice if you had like the Gen 1 version of this, there is a change to the throw lever as well. It's kind of a cool improvement on that side. I think that's pretty nice.
Yeah, so they changed the throw lever. It is it's no longer screw in. Well, technically it is screw in because but now it has two screws in a base that keep it in. So if you want to remove the throw lever, you just have to take a hex or Torx screw and unscrew the 2 screws in the base to remove the throw lever. And actually, this is a better design than the original one, which was like a screw-in pin. Now, that's convenient, but the only thing that's keeping it in there is a very thin little threaded pin. And I could just see that. If you accidentally drop your rifle, I could see that snapping right off. And then what, I don't know what you're going to have to do. I mean, so you can't like necessarily drill out the pinhole now. So this solution, I think, is a much more ruggedized solution. So it is an improvement. All right. So that was, one more thing. I did, this one is sort of a crossover video that I posted. I actually posted it first on my Moondog Reviews channel, which I post up the videos of gadgets and things that are not necessarily gun related, which I post on my Moondog 2A channel. But this is a tracking scope from March Scopes. And what makes this different, it looks very much like it's based off of their Magesta rifle scope, but they're using it as the basis of what would normally be a spotting scope. But in this case, they're not calling it a spotting scope because they're calling it a tracking scope, because it has this really unusual mount that's a pivoting mount. And you know what? It's easier if I show you what this thing is capable of.
So this isn't just a conventional spotting scope. It may look it, and it's got 80 times magnification, which isn't conventional. And
That's
it also
80,
has
80.
the scope reticle inside it, which will be available in a choice of reticles to match our existing Magesta.
Perfect.
So guys can replicate their rifle scope with a spotting scope, which has all sorts of different applications. But the unique thing about this, it's called a tracking scope for a reason. So if we just do this.
Yeah, it's like a ball joint. Yeah, the thing is definitely an unusual sort of ball jointed system, and I believe that's built into the actual tube of the scope, rather than sort of a clamp-on deal. So, but it allows you, once you have that mounted onto your tripod, which sort of provides you a nice stable platform, but it has just the right amount of resistance, so you can move your scope for you, and you can use it to track your target, whether it's a moving animal, or if you are shooting quickly between different targets in a particular match. It certainly fills a specific role for those of you who and it's a lot easier to use than just like loosening the levers, the locking levers on a ball mount on a tripod, because those once you let go, gravity takes its course, and unless you have everything all balanced out perfectly, it's just going to flop to one side. This one, with a ball joint the way it is a much easier to maneuver and control than your typical ball joint on a tripod. So it was pretty cool. And I posted this on my Moondog Reviews channel, which has all my gadgets. And finally, I have the 2 videos that I posted on Moondog Go, which is my travel channel. And I actually posted, these are from a visit to New Jersey that I took with a family a few months ago. And this is the Paradox Museum at the big New Jersey mall there, the American Dream Mall in the Meadowlands, not far from Newark, not far from New York City. And it's one of those museums that shows you a lot of visual illusions. And here's one of them. So you can see that chair, but if you move your position, then you see that it is not really a chair. So yeah, it just shows that depending on your point of view, what you're seeing may not be what you're seeing. So that was a cool little, and the museum's just packed full of those little experiences. So that was a fun place to go. All right. Also on my Moondog Go channel, I posted the if you haven't seen it, I posted the logo quiz from SHOT Show where I showed all these 5 different logos that are of different gun brands and asked people at SHOT Show to see if they could identify them without their name. And you can watch that. And that's the basis of this whole quiz that I'm using now that is part of the giveaway. So what I also want to ask you, since you saw that video of the March scope, um, that video is going to be appearing on my Moondog 2A channel this weekend, this coming weekend. And I just wanted to ask if you had an idea of what headline or caption would you have for this video? Because right now I'm just putting up the thumbnail just says the March tracking scope, which it is what it is. But I don't know if you have any thoughts as to what would be a good caption for that March tracking scope video. And you've seen that since you saw the video and you saw that it moves. So I don't know if you have any ideas or thoughts as to what would be a good caption. And I'll let you post up something on the side chat. And while we're doing that, I might as well call out some of the folks who've joined the side chat. We have Hillbilly, and we have Ryan Matthew Pick out there. We have Michael Dunn. We have Vadim. And we have Abigail. And we actually also have 2 guests, which will be joining me in a hot minute. But if you have any ideas, Abigail or Vadim, as to a good caption of that, please go ahead and type it in there. All right, we'll move forward with another clue for the brand that we're looking at here. Name the brand. Now, here's a clue. This company was founded in Minnesota and was originally named Goodfellow Dry Goods. And it was founded that company was founded in 1902. Before that company was renamed Dayton's Dry Goods Company in 1903. And eventually that company got named, well, whatever this logo is. So if you happen to know what the name of that company is, type it in the side chat. Hashtag capital letter for the first letter of the name, and then just type in the answer there on the side chat. All right. So down the rabbit hole, what I wanted to do is introduce 2 of our guests tonight. And the reason why is because they participated in the topic for the rabbit hole today, which is the topic of the thumbnail that you saw. And that would be the band aespa. And to explain what that is, well, aespa is this hot new K-pop band that is quickly just blowing up. If you are familiar with the band Hot Pink, which was the big hot K-pop band that came out a few years ago, well, aespa just blew out Hot Pink in terms of the most songs downloaded on their first album. And this new band, also from Korea, well, 2 ladies in my life wanted to see this band for their birthdays, which are in February. So I took them down to Los Angeles to see this band, aespa, in concert. And I'd like to introduce the 2 ladies in my life. First one, Vendetta. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Moondog.
Hey.
Doing all
So
right.
for those of you who don't know, Vendetta is my wife and my co-pilot in the drive down to LA to see aespa. And we also had in the car and going to see in concert, we have Octo Squiggles.
Hello.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi.
All right. I like
whipped
this.
I whipped this up in like 10 minutes.
That is so cool. So that is an awesome. That's awesome. She made this. What is it, like a virtual avatar? I mean,
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me try to get you on screen bigger. There we go.
All right.
So, that's pretty cool. So when you're talking, it automatically has mouth movements.
Yeah. I just learned this software like 10 minutes ago. I had to.
That is so cool. This is my kid. She's really clever. Yeah. Anyway, so Vendetta and Octoswiggles. Do you want to? Why don't you tell a little bit? Why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourselves? Let's start with Vendetta. Can you give a little, 30-second background?
About the concert last weekend, or
Well, just of you. How
of
about
me?
let's
Oh,
start with that?
okay,
Yes.
of me.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As you know, I am Moondog's wife.
Oh, let me try to
And
get you
okay,
on the center of the
yeah,
screen.
just a tiny bit, but
Solo layout. There we go. All right.
all right, there you go. So, what is it? I am into really nerdy stuff, including video games, and as you can see, I got into K-pop and K-dramas too. I don't know, talking about going down the rabbit hole there. But yeah, day job. I'm a graphic designer by trade, so um, that's my 30 seconds. I think I did it already.
Well, talk a little bit about why you wanted to go see ESPA.
Oh, I love music. I listen to it at work actually. I really like a lot of the songs. They were upbeat. They wake me up, and that's what I need whenever I'm doing some of these very boring, or it's just standard work that's pretty much the same type of key. Was it key movements on your when you're on the computer, and I definitely wanted to go see them live because it's like when are they going to come over to the US again? I don't know. They were actually going to be in Oakland the past weekend. Yeah, the past weekend, but I don't really want to go there to Oakland, yeah, especially at the venue and the surrounding areas. Right now, maybe it might change in the future, but
Gotcha. All right. So let me introduce Octosquiggles. And if let's say I can solo her. There we go.
Hi. Okay. I'm Octosquiggles. Please, it's just Squiggles. Octosquiggles is the Octosquiggles is the just the name, overall name, but Squiggles is what you should call me.
Okay.
I am most well known for my Philomena Kunks stanage on TikTok. I actually kind of got a bit popular over my Philomena Kunk collection of things. So I am the self-proclaimed #1 fan of her. But I am into other things such as K-pop and stuff. I actually got into K-pop really recently. I think it was the group Lusemble, which is kind of a subgroup of Luna after they disbanded. And they were my first concert. They were the first group I ever saw. I saw in
All right.
concert. Yeah.
I took you over to the Palace of Fine Arts, right?
Yeah.
To see them.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was really great. I really liked that experience. So yeah, Lusemble was my first K-pop concert, but aespa is my second concert overall.
And
I think
that's great. You're really lucky. Now, did you get Vendetta into ESPA, or was it the other way around?
I kind of found aespa through my through the kind of sea of K-pop. I mean, it is pretty popular. So, and I only listen to girl groups, so it was about that time. About time. I think aespa is like one of the most popular ones.
I think we were in the car actually coming back, and then I'm just going like, what's going on? And I saw that they were playing actually in LA, and I just turned around in the back seat. Hey, do you want to go to see ESPA for our birthdays? Because it just landed like literally the month that of February. So I don't think there was any objection there.
Yeah, right. Now I should
Especially since I
point
didn't
out
have
to
to pay
a
for
lot of
it.
the folks may not know who we're talking about. I just realized. So, Espa, for those of you who aren't familiar with that name, you may have heard their song on the radio and not realized who they were. Let me just play a little snippet of their biggest hit currently, which is Supernova. And I'm just going to play a very short bit because otherwise we're going to get hit with a copyright strike or whatever, a copyright hit on this episode. But let me put it on stage right now.
지금 내 안에 sun supernova nova can't stop hyper stellar.
All right, so that was your little taste of Espa, or at least their song Supernova. And one of the things that I thought was interesting that you guys told me after going to see the concert, now I should point out that these two went to the concert together to go see it, and I stayed at the hotel since I'm not as big of a fan of Espa, but I thought it would be great to have a girls' night out with my two girls to go enjoy it for their birthday. But you told me that they also introduced virtual versions of themselves, or an AI or a virtual member of the band. Could you explain that?
Yeah, I think that was a few years back. It's part of like the lore of like Espa, like kind of the invert universe thing. I don't know how to explain this without explaining like any of my other K-pop interests, but it's like little guess like virtual world and the real life. I don't know. I haven't looked at the wiki in a while, and I'm not that deep into the lore.
Well, let me bring up a picture that I found on the web, and maybe you can explain what we're looking at here.
Okay, so Navis. From what I understand, Navis is like kind of like the bridge between like Espa and like the virtual Espa world. I'm not sure what's going on with Navis. I think the concept is really cool, but I don't like the generative AI that's used in it. Yeah, I think there's like other ways to go around this with like vocal
What parts did
synths
you
and
not
stuff.
like?
I don't know. It's using I don't know what kind of generative AI. I think it's like for the vocals, it's using generative AI for.
Rather than like so is it like Vocaloid, or are you using their
That's
own
what I was
version?
thinking when looking up about stuff about her.
But
I
she
think,
looks CGI. I mean, she looks like a fully rendered CGI from a video game to me. At least in the video
yeah,
that
they
saw
all
online.
have like their own, I think, like 3D models and stuff. I don't know what goes on there.
And I just was struck by the idea when I was searching up about this one after he told me that they're trying to incorporate virtual versions or alternate versions of themselves in some of their videos, or almost like their still own standalone videos. It's kind of strange to me in that they're almost creating their own replacements in a way. And I don't know if that's the intention of the producers or their managers, that, because these bands, they're part of it is they trade in their looks. So they're, young artists. And just like Menudo, you age out and you stop being quite as cute. So are they training their own replacements? It's kind of creepy in a way.
The only thing that the wiki says about the virtual thing is that they're just like alter egos of them. There's no AI. The Navis is the only AI that I'm aware of that's in it. The virtual counterparts are just alter egos.
Yeah, it's like kind of like avatars when you're in a video game. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I gathered too, because I had a wiki it myself as well. Because seeing Navis on stage, and she had like her own song, I think too, was and I wasn't sure if even the background dancers were also virtual as well, but it was interesting how it was played out in the middle of the
Now, I
concert.
wasn't able to show you. You shared a little bit of the concert with me,
Mhm.
but I wasn't. It was too short of the file that you sent me was like 2 seconds, and it was too short for the software here to load and render. I don't know if I can share this window. Let's see if I can share this window here. There we go. So that's the concert that you guys went to.
Mhm.
And I guess, what are you in the luge section or loge
Nosebleeds.
section? Yeah, I
Um,
mean, were you really high up in
it was
the nosebleed sections?
Yeah,
almost
we were.
nosebleed. Yeah, it was almost nosebleeds, but I wouldn't say completely because there are definitely people behind us in a different section. We're pretty close. We're kind of like in the middle. We're like, there's definitely nosebleeds, not so nosebleedy. I guess that's where we.
Okay, not so nosebleedy. And I kind of feel like I've been to the venue was the LA Forum. That's where the Lakers used to play, and where the Clippers still play, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I drove by a new stadium or arena that was over there, so I could be wrong about that. I haven't lived in LA in a in a couple dogs' ages, so I don't know what the layout is. For if anybody out there happens to be watching, type in, let me know in the chat, in the side chat, if who plays or if anybody plays over at the forum now. It used to be that was where the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Kings used to play, but of course now the Lakers have their own arena in downtown Staples Center. And I believe from the signage I was seeing when we were driving in, the Clippers have their own arena near the forum, so which is kind of weird, but apparently they do. I'm not quite sure about that. Okay, well, one of the things we'll come back to talking about K-pop, because certainly I'm no expert, and I'm probably, you guys are more of an expert on K-pop than I am, especially you, Squiggles. But one of the things
Yeah.
that was interesting to me about this particular song was that they sampled a song that I'm much more familiar with, and I'll just share that if you guys happen to be my age, you may recognize this album. You probably should recognize the name of this band, Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. So apparently this Supersonic sampled a bit of this song, and then specifically of the song Planet Rock, which is if you're a certain age and if you've gone to any number of wedding receptions, you probably, or dances back in the day in junior high or high school, you probably heard this song. I'll play a little snippet for you.
Is this a living dream? Love, life, live. Come play the game. Our world is free. Do what you want but dream.
Yep, that's the song. So I don't know exactly from where that that Espa sampled that song for Supernova, but apparently that was one of the songs that they did sample, and that was a little cooler to me. At least it connected to me in my particular musical tastes. I'm pretty sure, Vendetta, you recognize the African Bambaataa song.
Oh yeah, definitely wedding receptions, especially from like, I'm like really young in comparison to my cousins. So when I come in, of course, I would hear those songs and the above. And you have to listen to the whole song if you want to hear that sample because it's in there for sure.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But then you'll change it to like, jazz on the, in the car, which is not bad. I like jazz too, but.
And it reminded me, now, I know that a lot of you out there probably are not into K-pop, and that's fine. It's a whole little subgenre of music, but it's amazing to me that that Korean pop, the K-pop, has taken the world by storm, much more so than really any other sort of foreign language groups or music, pop music from any other country. Not since like back in the day, in my day, like Nina and 99 Luftballons or Falco and Rock Me Amadeus in German. That's the closest thing I can think of. I can't think of it, any Japanese J-pop bands that hit it. Maybe a little bit of like Selena and salsa music would be the closest equivalent, perhaps, but not even in the same degree that K-pop seems to be taking the airwaves with the younger generation. That would be you, Squiggles. But then again, you also are a bit more into a lot of Asian culture than your typical teenager. Or maybe I'm wrong about that, because everybody watches anime in your generation now, right?
I think I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, to sort of validate these things, I just want to point out that in the same era as Africa Mabata, maybe a little bit later, some of you of a certain age may recognize this face. Here, I'll bring this up. Let's see if I can. There we go. Does anybody remember this girl, Tiffany? Now, if you have, please let me know in the side chat. But this is one of the many teenage pop idols from the 80s, from my generation, and she was a big deal for a hot minute in the 80s. And one of the just sort of a random things that I learned when I was looking up information about aespa and also just pop in general, and also Africa Mabata. I don't know where these things come up in the sort of Google search algorithms, but one of the things that came up was a video about the origin of the name Tiffany. And apparently Tiffany, the name Tiffany reached its peak. If for anybody who was born in the late 60s, early 70s, might remember that in the 80s, a lot of girls were being named Tiffany. And it appears that Tiffany actually has a much longer, older name origin than I would have thought. It actually comes from about the year 300, from a treatise written by a Christian bishop, Orthodox bishop, who wrote a treatise called The Manifestation of God, and he titled that Theophania, and that's where we get from the Greek into the Italian into the French. Eventually, Theophania became Tiffania or Tiffany, and through a long process, we get Tiffany. And the reason why it became popular in the 80s as a name was because of this movie, Breakfast at Tiffany's. And that's just kind of a weird connection right there to me. But I don't know. Vendetta, do you remember, did you ever go to school with anybody named Tiffany?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Well, no, I had a really small class from a Catholic private school. So, nope, no, I didn't even know any siblings of anyone I went to school with that had the name Tiffany. So, it just happens.
Here we go. Michael Dunn said he went. Now I don't know if this is a correct attribution here. That Michael Dunn said, I went to one of her concerts in the 90s. Now, are you referring to Tiffany? Or are you referring to Nena of 99 Luftballons? So let me correct my perception of that, if that isn't the case, that you saw Tiffany. Now, personally, I think I've known two Tiffanys in my life. One of them about my age, maybe a little bit younger. I don't know. Let me know, the folks in the side chat, if you know any Tiffanys. Okay, so Michael Dunn was correct. My original interpretation of that he did go see Tiffany in concert. So hopefully it was a good concert. Though I can't even tell you if she have anything more than an EP at the time. I don't know how long that concert was. If it was if she just played covers or what. That would be kind of interesting to me.
She had other songs. I mean, I
I would
listened to.
assume that she had some other songs, but that was the only song that I knew of her. What was actually? I can't even name the song. Was it Only in My Dreams, or am I thinking of something? Or
Oh
am I
no,
thinking of another song?
no, that's someone else.
I think We're Alone Now, right? Is that Tiffany?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Tiffany had the I Think We're Alone Now, and if was Tiffany the girl from Long Island, or was that Debbie Gibson? I'm kind of mixing them both up in my memory now. Okay, obviously you don't know. All right, well, hopefully Michael Dunn can as our resident Tiffany expert, having been to one of her concerts, could fill us into that information. Michael also said that the Nelsons, and I'm sure Vendetta knows who we're talking about here.
Nope.
The Nelsons? No, really?
No.
Okay, maybe it's.
See, this is the thing. I went from listening to Tiffany and Debbie Gibson to rap and hip hop. Like, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even. Here's a question for the folks out there. So Michael Dunn said the Nelsons and Tiffany were their first concert. Vendetta, what was your first concert? And let everybody can also type in, join the conversation here, what your first concert was that you saw, or at least the first couple of concerts. Do you remember, Vendetta, which was your first concert?
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to remember what was my first concert, really. What I remember the most, I guess, I may have gone to one earlier than this, was actually we just saw her recently too, Moondog. It's the original, the woman who was the original cast of Cats and also Phantom of the Opera, Sarah Brightman.
Oh, yeah, Sarah. Okay, that was your first concert, Sarah Brightman?
One of the first concerts. I was really sheltered when I was growing up. So,
oh yeah, I know that.
You know my mom.
Yeah. And your dad, God bless him.
Yeah, and God bless my dad. And if you knew my dad, even more so, being the youngest.
Very protective. Yeah. And Octo and Squiggles already said that this was her second concert. Her first one was another K-pop band, but that was in San Francisco. I'm trying to remember what my first rock concert might have been. Might have been the Beastie Boys and Run DMC. I think might have been the first one that I saw. When I happened to be working at the Greek Theater in LA as an usher, which is the reason why I got to see them, because that was a sold out concert, and their Ill Communication, and that was the original tour, so they were the big deal concert to go see at that summer. So it was very fortunate that I was working at the Greek Theater at the time, and I got to see a bunch of concerts while I was working there. Bands like the Bangles, Oingo Boingo, and this was in the 80s. So this is when they were huge. Thompson Twins, I think those are the first concerts I remember seeing. And here we go. Comment back. The Nelsons, they are the twins of Ricky Nelson and Kristen Nelson. So Ricky Nelson, for those of you who are too young to remember, was one of the original sort of rock and roll stars. He was a TV star first on, I think, wasn't Leave It to Beaver. It was it Father Knows Best? I'm mixing up my TV shows right now. But he was the son of, he was an actor first, and then he came out with a bunch of sort of a soft ballad hits in the early 60s, I believe. Ricky Nelson, and the Nelsons were his sons, and I don't even remember the hits that they had in the 80s, but yeah, they were a big deal for a hot minute. Hillbilly says, "What a concert! Beastie Boys Run DMC." Yeah, it was the infamous concert where the Beastie Boys had an inflatable penis on stage. So yeah, his says his first concert was Sammy Hagar and the Red Rocker. That one must have been great because um, there's some artists who are awesome live, and Sammy Hagar is definitely one of them. And Ryan says, "Yep." Oh, Ryan says he saw them both, but not together. Excellent. It's great to see concerts. I'm a little concerted out. I'm sort of a little nonplussed about going to see concerts, but I'm really a strong supporter of my family going to concerts. So I encourage them to go, and I will support them by taking them, even if I have to drive. Was it 400 miles down for them to see a concert? Now you guys are lining up 2 more concerts, I believe. Another K-pop band that I might actually end up seeing.
Yes.
Vendetta.
So I've got
what is the name of this band?
Card, K-A-R-D. They're more of like a K-pop, hip hop band, and I think they're the only hybrid K-pop band. I'm just going to call them K-pop out there. And then the second one is OK Go. They're all both playing really close to where I work. So I think Squiggles is going to come with me to that one.
Now, Squiggles, you're going to go to I know you're going to the OK Go concert with your mom, but are you going to see both of them?
Or I think I'm just going to see OK Go.
I think so. I guess
playing this year is having a concert this year. I think they posted teasers about it, so I might go to that one as well. That's later this year, I think. I don't know. They haven't posted anything except teasers.
Okay. Well, if you don't go, then I will be happy to go with Vendetta to go see Card.
So. Oh, haven't we talked about this? I feel like we've talked about this.
Yeah, I think you were saying you weren't all that interested in seeing Card, so that's
no, not really. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I only listen to girl groups.
Okay.
There's 2 girls in there.
So that's not a girl group.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
All right. I love this comment from Pick here that he met his wife at a Billy Idol show 35 years ago. That's awesome. And also added, who's touring? Oh, sorry. This is in sequence here. Michael Dunn responded, my last concert was 1993. That's been a while. And White Zombie was awesome. And so, yeah, he hasn't been to a concert in a while, kind of like me. And I think the last concert I went to was with you, Vendetta, and I hadn't been to a concert in maybe about 10 years or more. I forget what's the last. I think the last concert was what? Might have been Pat Benatar when we were living in New York.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It was quite nice. You get to sit down.
Yeah, that's a little more low key. That's where she's a little older, she's older, and then all of her audience is a bit older. So we're not standing up screaming the entire time. We're sitting down at a nightclub, just sipping our drinks. That was a much more low key kind of concert. But everybody was jazzed to see her. And Pick was saying that I believe is referring to Billy Idol is touring this year with Joan Jett. That would be a great concert to go see. I think, hopefully, I don't know. I have to look up. Yeah, I think I'll have to see how well both of them perform. But Pat Benatar still has the pipes, so she sounds just as good now as she did 40 years ago. And Michael Dunn responded, I can't believe my youngest daughter, who is 20, went to an REO Speedwagon concert. Oh, that's awesome. I can't believe that she's into REO Speedwagon. Then again, I shouldn't be that incredulous, because Squiggles is into Barry Manilow, or at least one Barry Manilow song. I don't
No,
know if
like
I'm
two Barry Manilow songs, just two.
so there you go. It still blows me away that that she
I was
even
into
knows who that is.
Copacabana for like a week straight.
So
I mean, he has
okay.
a residency in Vegas, so should go there while he's
Indeed.
still around.
Okay, next time we go to SHOT Show, we definitely have to carve out some time to go see Barry Manilow. How's that? Because honestly, there isn't anything I want to see in Vegas anymore, other than going there for SHOT Show. And you remember when we're there, it's like, okay, it's the same. Well, all we do is go visit the same folks as last year, which is fine. It's great to see them. All right, so let me bring up, as we're wrapping up towards the end of the hour here. Let me bring up the contest that we started earlier today. Let me just check to see how many folks have. Oh, we haven't gotten too many entries. I'm surprised. So be sure to type in your hashtags right now. You will get a. See if this thing can focus. A Palmetto State Armory, Las Vegas decal. This is the exclusive one that they gave out at SHOT Show 2025, and I'll include a Moondog sticker as well to those to a winner out there. You get a shiny rainbow Moondog sticker along with this one. So if I'm going to give it out to three different winners today, so get your hashtags in, because right now, what is it? We only have 2 entries, so we got 2 definite winners, whoever entered in. So get your hashtags in. Here's the clue. There's the logo. Name the brand. This brand is second only to Walmart as the largest discount store chain in the U.S. And as an additional clue here, they're also known by their French-esque name, Target. So I think you should probably know who this brand is. Type in hashtag and the name of the brand, and you'll be entered into the contest. Also, I should point out that you can also enter my contest online. I'm going to put in some links here into the chat for everybody. There is a logo contest that I'm having right now online. And all you have to do is post up a screenshot that you've subscribed to my Moondog Go channel, and send me a screenshot. You'll find a entry form on this page that I've just posted a link to, and you could be entered into contest to win. Just bring this up here, if I can solo myself here. You're gonna win a bag of SHOT Show swag, and it's a big bag here. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can into a priority mailbox. But in this bag, we got tons of decals, we got patches, we got bottle openers, we got a T-shirt, we got a cap from Aguila Ammo, we got a Kel-Tec T-shirt, we got just tons of swag from SHOT Show. So you could win this bag of swag from SHOT Show without ever having to hazard the SHOT Show flu like I did. And you'll be entered. All you have to do is go to that link, and I'll post it up again here, and you can enter the contest. And you can also find a link in my notes for this particular episode, which I'm posting up now. And of course, the other way you can enter, you get an extra entry into the SHOT Show bag contest, is to take the logo quiz that I have on that page. You can find a link on that page, and just type in your answers in the comment section and take a screenshot of that, and that's good for an extra entry into the Moondog SHOT Show bag contest. But for this particular episode's giveaway of our Palmetto State Armory decals from SHOT Show. All right, we have 4 entries, which is, I think, more than enough to see who wins. We make this a contest. Michael Dunn says, "Don't send the SHOT Show flu with it." Yeah, I'll try not to sneeze into the bag before sending it out. How's that, Mike? All right, so let me just share the screen of the giveaway tool here. And your last chance is to get in now. Type in #target 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abigail wins. Okay, we're gonna draw again for the second winner. And our second winner is going to be Michael Dunn. Congratulations, Michael. And our last, so it's between Vadim and Pick. Who's it going to be? Vadim. Congratulations. All right. And let me just stop that screen share. All right. So, folks, congratulations on winning those decals. Just be sure to send your mailing address. And I'm going to post up. Email me at moondogairsoft@gmail.com. Just email me with your address or wherever you want the decals to be sent, and I'll be happy to mail them. And thanks again, everybody, for joining us on today's live stream, TMI. And I also like to thank my guests, Vendetta and Squiggles. Say, you want to end with any comments there, Vendetta?
Oh no, it was pretty fun talking to you all about concerts and bringing us in to talk about ESPA.
Of course. And Squiggles, anything you want to share? Would you like to put any links to your Twitter or your socials?
Honestly, just search up Octasquiggles. I'm the only one of that username. Everything's there. Octasquiggles. Or if you want website thingy, I got a Rentry, rentry.co/Diane Morgan.
Rentry? What? What did you
That's
just
like
type
a little.
in?
It's like a website, except not a website. I used to have a website, but I stopped updating it for some reason. I have a Rentry as a temporary website while I figure my schedules out, so I can code up more HTML and CSS.
Okay, I'm trying. Oh, I'm messing up your name when I'm typing it in because I forgot there's an extra G. All right, I'm gonna type it in for everybody so that they don't have to misspell it like I did.
You also have a YouTube channel, don't you, Squiggles?
Yeah, it's also under Octasquiggles. Everything is under Octasquiggles. Everything, all of my socials, either that or Squiggly Octasquiggles. So, Octasquiggles, yeah.
Okay, YouTube.com. So at Octosquiggles.
Yep.
Octosquiggles. See if this comes up on YouTube. Okay, I do see it. So if you see Diane Morgan, Mike, I might have to ask you to come back and explain your obsession with Diane Morgan, or explain who Diane Morgan is for everybody out there.
Yeah.
Because we're making these references to, and for those of you who don't know, she's an English comedic actress.
Love her.
Anyway, yeah. We could do an entire episode just on Philomena Kunk and Diane Morgan. I think we should do that. We'll plan for that in a couple of weeks. How's that?
Yeah, when I don't have therapy.
Okay, all right. Anyway, any last plugs from everybody? She is to a degree, but she's really more of a mini Vendetta, I think. My son Sock 1 is probably more of a mini me than than anybody in the family. Octo Squiggles is our own thing, man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you for joining the live stream today, and be sure to tune in next week. And let me know if you actually prefer this time or our regular time of 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Let me know in the side chat, or again, send me an email. I might even post a little poll about that, and we'll see if which time works better for everybody. Probably it'll still be 3 o'clock because there was a scheduling conflict today that meant that I had to pick these two up a little bit earlier in the day than I usually do. So anyway, thanks again for watching. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.